Hi, welcome back to Educator.com. This is the lesson on ecology, part 1. So first we need to talk about some basic terms that really encapsulate ecology as a whole. These are very important terms that come up again and again related to how organisms relate to each other and to their environment. So first off, ecology is the study of the interactions that take place between organisms and their environment, and also organisms between each other. Qualitative and quantitative data inform this. So qualitative data is when we are talking not about numbers, but in terms of the quality of things. So if you look outside and you're like, oh, it's a rainy day, you're not talking about exactly how much rainfall there is. Or maybe an organism is stressed in their environment, and you can tell they're stressed by their behavior. And you may be talking about descriptors about that particular organism and it moving around in a peculiar way that's not normal. That would be qualitative data. And then quantitative data would be all those things involving numbers. So if there's 3 centimeters of rainfall in a day, that's quantitative. If an organism's energy consumption is a particular amount per day, we can measure exactly how much organic compounds they're consuming. Biotic versus abiotic factors. Well, if it has to do with life, and I'm going to underline it in green because green is photosynthesis and really supports life. So biotic, any particular organism that exists in an environment, whether it's a parasite, whether it's producing energy for a community as does a plant, or whether it's consuming energy because it's heterotrophic, that would be a biotic factor. If it's abiotic, it's not alive. An abiotic factor would be rainfall. Though water supports life, water in itself is not alive. Temperature would be an abiotic factor. The amount of sunlight would be an abiotic factor. So these particular factors definitely have an impact on environments and the organisms that live in them. A population, this term of course has come up numerous times in this course. In evolution, it comes up. And in ecology, a population is the same definition. It is a group of individuals of the same species in a specific area. So if they can all mate and have offspring, and they're in one particular habitat, that is a population. If we're talking about more than one type of organism in an area, that's bigger than a population, and that would be a community. A community is many populations living in an area. So if you talk about a food chain, what organisms are eating what in a particular habitat, well, that would be a community. Bigger than that, if we consider the whole community and its environment in terms of all the factors that impact that terrain and those organisms, then we're talking about an ecosystem. So an ecosystem is populations of all species living in a particular environment and all those abiotic factors in addition to the biotic parts of it. And then the biosphere. The biosphere is the portion of Earth that supports life. Here's Earth, so really it's the upper parts of the crust, the oceans, the lakes and rivers and the land masses, those parts that support life, where you can find life on Earth. Of course, in the center, the core of the Earth, much too hot, too much pressure, etc., to support life. If you're wondering about the term biome, if you've heard about biome, B-I-O-M-E, well, the different kinds of ecosystems are called biomes. So we'll cover the biomes later on in this course.